What if I told you the Raiders are quietly plotting changes that could completely shake up their offense and defense just weeks before training camp? That a former Pro Bowler could be returning to Las Vegas? And a four-time All-Pro could be waiting for the call? Hang tight, because we're about to reveal 3 shocking, under-the-radar developments, each of which could dramatically change the Raiders' 2025 season. The Las Vegas Raiders have made significant strides this offseason under new leadership from Pete Carroll and general manager John Spytek, both of whom are known for building winning players. But despite several new releases, one key area still feels incomplete: wide receiver. Sure, the Raiders selected Jack Beck and Dante Thornton Jr. in the 2025 NFL Draft. Both have intriguing potential, but let's be honest, they're developmental prospects. This season needs immediate production, especially with Geno Smith taking over at quarterback and Chip Kelly leading the way. A reliable WR3 or even a surprise WR2 could be a missing piece in a revamped offensive scheme. So here's where things get interesting. As rosters begin to shrink before the 53-man limit, teams are expected to start trading players who fall out of the rotation. According to multiple sources, the Raiders are monitoring this very window for a potential hidden gem. 2 names are catching the eye. First, Alec Pierce, a second-round pick in the 2022 draft by the Colts. Pierce has shown glimpses of being a threat in big games, but he's never really become the go-to guy in Indianapolis. With the WR room suddenly crowded, Pierce could be available. He's fast, athletic, and would benefit greatly from a change of scenery. Las Vegas could be the perfect reset button. Then there's John Mechie III of the Houston Texans. After a promising career at Alabama, Mechie's NFL trajectory has been rocky, made more difficult by Houston's crowded wide receiver room, including the departures of Stephon Diggs and the injured Tank Dell. The Texans brought in 2 Heat receivers and traded for another, leaving Mechie's role uncertain. For Las Vegas, this could be a golden opportunity to give the young wide receiver a fresh start in an offense where he can truly thrive. The Raiders will have to wait for final roster cuts in August, but if you're wondering if they're ready to tackle, the answer is yes. And you can bet they're keeping an eye on every depth chart in the league. Speaking of reinforcements, what if the defense is next in line for a major upgrade? Let's take a look. While the Raiders' offense is undergoing a dramatic transformation under the direction of Geno Smith and Brock Bowers, there's another part of the team quietly undergoing its own rebuild: the defensive secondary. And the rebuild may not be complete just yet. Las Vegas saw 2 starters depart at safety this offseason, with Trayvon Moehrig and Marcus Epps hitting free agency, leaving the defensive backfield with urgent holes to fill. In response, general manager John Spytek moved quickly to bring in Jeremy Chinn, a versatile defender who can cover multiple roles in the secondary. Chinn offers range, size, and physicality. The team is also putting a lot of faith in Isaiah Pola-Mao, who finished the 2024 season as the starter and showed flashes of real promise. But the question remains, is that enough? Because while potential is exciting, production wins games. And in a division where quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert are ready to exploit the slightest gap in coverage, the Raiders may not have the wherewithal to grow. That's why the idea of signing veteran safety Justin Simmons is heating up and gaining traction among fans and analysts alike. Let's be clear, Simmons is no ordinary free agent. A 4-time second-team All-Pro selection and former cornerstone of the Denver Broncos defense, he's one of the smartest defensive backs in the league. He reads the offense like a quarterback, makes smart, instinctive plays in coverage, and has a knack for making game-winning interceptions. His leadership is also highly respected, on and off the field. Still available in early July, Simmons remains the best defensive back on the open market. He spent last season with the Atlanta Falcons, but his resume is hard to ignore. At 32, he's not a long-term solution, but for a team looking to compete now, he could be the perfect bridge option. From a roster-building standpoint, the combination makes a lot of sense. The Raiders' cornerback group is extremely young. Jacorian Bennett is entering his second year. Nate Hobbs has shown flashes, but consistency remains an open question. Rookie Decamarion Richardson could play a key role in 2025, but asking him to anchor his first season is risky. Adding Simmons would provide instant stability. He could serve as the veteran general in the secondary, organizing coverages, mentoring the younger cornerbacks, and being the last line of defense against the AFC West's aerial attacks. There's also a schematic fit. Pete Carroll, known for building dominant secondaries in Seattle with the Legion of Boom, understands the value of a smart safety with good range. While the Raiders aren't running an exact replica of Carroll's defenses in Seattle, the foundation is similar: physically capable cornerbacks, versatile safeties, and disciplined coverage schemes. Simmons is tailor-made for that type of system. Financially, the Raiders have the salary cap space to make that change. With more than enough cap space, there would be no need for a higher cap deal or salary gymnastics. And given Simmons' desire to play for a competitive team, Vegas could be one of the most appealing destinations. A fresh start for a defense on the rise, with a respected coach and a changing culture. So the big question is, what are they waiting for. Simmons brings experience, production, football IQ, and the kind of leadership that championship defenses are built on. Even if it's just for 1 year, the potential is enormous. Some will argue that the Raiders should give Isaiah Pola-Mao a full shot, that they've already invested in Jeremy Chin. But depth is everything in today's NFL. Injuries happen, matchups change from week to week, and in a division where a failed coverage can be the difference between a 10-7 record and a 7-10 record, having someone like Simmons on the field could make all the difference. With training camp fast approaching, the clock is ticking. But one phone call, just one, could solidify a defense that's already on the right track. And while we're on the subject of veteran greats, there could be one more out there with unfinished business in Las Vegas. When the Raiders traded Amari Cooper to the Cowboys in 2018, it marked the end of an era and the beginning of a downturn. Nearly 7 years later, suddenly, a reunion doesn't seem so unlikely. The Raiders' offense, led by Geno Smith, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, and new running back Ashton Jeanty, has real potential. But there's one glaring concern: a lack of experience and leadership at the wide receiver position beyond Myers. The depth is stacked with young guys. Talented? Yes. Proven? Not yet. That's why sources like Cody Benjamin, CBS Sports, believe Amari Cooper could be a realistic and smart addition. Cooper is a free agent, knows the organization, and had a brief connection with current quarterbacks coach Greg Olson. Most importantly, he still has WR1 skills. Imagine what he could do to draw attention away from Bowers and Myers. Would Cooper want to come back? That's the million-dollar question. The coaching staff is completely different now. The direction has changed, and Pete Carroll offers a level of stability and energy that could attract a veteran looking for a meaningful final season. But then, there's a twist. Dont'e Thornton, Oregon's new WR, has been quite capable in off-season workouts. He has the size, speed, and athleticism to quickly move up the depth chart, perhaps even lock up the WR3 spot in training camp. If that happens, Vegas may opt for youth over experience. General Manager John Spytek seems optimistic. Mark Davis joked that Thornton was Al Davis's pick this year. Height, weight, speed, all the traits, Spytek said. Watch his tape. I think he's just getting started. If you were the veteran general manager of the Raiders today, what would be your first choice? Trade for a young wide receiver like Alec Pierce or John Mechie? Sign Justin Simmons to lead the defense? Or bring back Amari Cooper to round out this promising offense with Geno Smith and Brock Bowers? Which of these pieces could be the real game changer for Las Vegas in 2025? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, but I'll be back later to update you with the latest Raiders news.